What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sid Meier's Pirates, where we are now on the west coast, I guess the southwest tip of Cuba, trying to land. It's denying me. It's saying, no, you can't land here. Unfortunately, the island is not wanting right now and will not allow us to land upon it. That is a little strange. Hey, how about you let me come ashore? Huh? What's going on here? There we go. We'll anchor here, and then what we'll do is we'll walk down the beach to the left until we hit Cutthroat Reef. And then once we hit Cutthroat Reef, it shouldn't be too far out this way. There it is. So there's Cutthroat Reef. And if we take a look at our map, today we're going to be looking for Jack Rackham's treasure. We just got to go to the east from here. We'll also hit an Inca temple, which is unfortunate because we can't really, like, collect that or make use of it until we find the treasure map. However, that does kind of lighten the mood a bit because we know we won't have to go that far to get to one of the other Inca temples. I don't know if they fill in for each other either. I'm not really sure how the mechanic works on the inside of the game. I'm not even sure if the mechanic works at all or what there is to fix. Oh, there's the treasure right there. Because frankly, during this time period, there's not a whole lot of mechanical objects that need to be fixed, so I would assume that the old motor oil stained hands would not have a whole lot of things to be applying themselves to. Then again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm totally wrong all the time. So it's nothing outside the ordinary for me. Jack Rackham's treasure, get inside my purse. It's a man purse. It's not actually a purse. It's kind of a shoulder bag, really. But I guess if people want to pick on me for it. Now then, we get to do the fun little trip out to Veracruz, which is going to be all the way to the west. While we're going that way, I don't think it would be a horrible idea to try and get ourselves amnesty. We're sitting at 9 months worth of food. I would love to be able to land in Veracruz without getting myself into any sort of trouble. Let me save my game real fast because I haven't saved in a really long time. And that always makes me concerned because the power goes out all the time at my apartment complex. For example, I go through light bulbs like on a weekly basis, I guess would be, if I had to quantify it, I would say almost weekly I have to change light bulbs because we get so many power surges, not only brownouts, but we also just get a ridiculous amount of power outages here, and I don't know why. For example, the power flickered out like 2 times yesterday. For a couple days before that, it flickered out. It happens all the time. It's constantly murdering my light bulbs. We've got a whole bunch of Jesuit missions up here, so we should have options if we want to get amnesty. Maybe we'll be able to send somebody to Habana, and then from there we'll be... Yeah, that sounds nice. Let's go ahead and we'll go to the World's End Tavern to see if we can maybe grab ourselves another piece of pirate treasure, just to make sure that we're accumulating all those little bits and bobs that we need to have before we go anywhere else. And he wants the lockpick kit. You know what? I'm just going to start buying out all the stuff. The reason that I'm buying out everything now is because I really want to make sure that if all the items are bought, it means that it forces the game to put in the map pieces. The game it makes it more likely. It's sort of like counting the cards by what's been removed. There's a limited amount of items in the game, and so as you remove them, your chances get better and better and better at getting the thing that you want at the end of the day. There's another one. Let's go, yeah, San Giles de Assisi. Let's go down here. Or San Giles de Assisi. There we go. So he wants to go to Havana. So let's go ahead and go over there. Wow, he is getting sideways. Oh, I guess he bugged out and gave us amnesty. Alright, good job, Brother Paolo. Discovering those time warps, jumping through the spheres, be like, we're ready for warp 8. Just off into the distance. I really hope that whenever we come up with warp technology, I hope it doesn't have a disappointing sound. Like, I really do hope that it lives up to the expectations that have been derived from sci-fi. I sincerely hope so. Captain Kidd's treasure. Okay, so we'll start working on Captain Kidd's treasure. Hopefully this is our last trip out here. Like, I'm really sincerely hoping this is our last trip out to Veracruz. I don't want to be here anymore. Alright, we're up to 300 crew. We should be able to capture something now for the British if we wanted to down in the south, and that was always the plan. From here, I'll probably go back up. I think we need to be a little bit more northward, yeah. I didn't know if we were... There's Veracruz, so if we hit west... There we go. Off we fly. Off we float. I guess we're not doing any flying right now. The nice thing is we can land at Veracruz and we can resupply, which was my big concern. We can also start hunting some of these bounties, which I think each of these is worth together probably about 8,000 doubloons, which would be good. The return trip is what I'm really concerned about right now. I'm hoping that we don't get horrible winds on the way back, because sometimes it'll take you like 3 months to get out to Veracruz, but it'll take you a year and a half just to get back. And so if it's starting to look like it's going to be a terrible situation in which we just can't get the wind that we need, maybe I'll do a cut and we'll stop right there. Although, frankly, we're on limited time right now. The fuse is very much burning, And until it finishes burning, how far are we? Almost there? Damn. Alright, so a little bit more time left. I'm going to try and go with the wind. I should probably get rid of some of these ships that are sailing along with us too. Who is this? It's a troop transport. Not going to beat him up right now. That is kind of a high value target. If you take out troop transports, governors, or I forget what happens if you take out a governorship. Something good happens. I don't know. I'll keep on the lookout for one. When we go to bribe our way to the top with the Spanish, we're going to have to start beating people up. And I distinctly remember that when you take governors, it speeds up your promotion. So we'll see if we can ransom some governors or something. Now we're looking for Anchor Shallows, that familiar place that we keep going back to. You would really wish that we could get this all done in one trip, but the game just hates us. Okay, so we need to go further north. Let's get up here. Oh, we're out of... Let's go buy food first. I don't want to risk... Is that a dolphin right there or just a really, really enormous tuna? Either way, tuna's delicious. I love tuna. I mean, I don't eat it very often. I like the tuna that has like the onions and like all the random little herbs and things in it. That's the good stuff right there. But I stopped eating tuna. For a number of reasons, honestly, but I stopped eating it. I don't know. Come on, Veracruz. I want to come visit you in Veracruz. There's a lot to do in Veracruz. God, the advertising almost writes itself for the tourism industry there. You've got all those rhymes that you need. Captain Kidd's buried treasure. And so, Puerto Principe. Okay, that's fine. Sorry, we're full. We don't need any more. Let's beat him up. I don't know if this is going to help us at all, but sometimes you get useful information out of these fights. Other times you just get more crewmen. As of right now, crewmen aren't going to be the best bonus that we could get out of this, but we'll accept what we have for now. Return his thrust. When a man thrusts in your direction, you are obligated to thrust back. That's just how the universe works. I don't make the rules. It's just an unwritten law of nature. Okay, so... Unfortunately, they got nothing for us. Let's go back up north. I think his daughter is waiting on a ruby ring, which we don't have one. Otherwise, we'd be able to get ourselves maybe another criminal, possibly. Baron Raimondo is another thing that I need to focus on. Damn, there's just so many things right now. 2,000 gold was not nearly enough to justify going after Rackham's treasure. I'm a little bit disappointed about the amount that we got out of that. Oh well. What are you gonna do? To the north we go. To Anchor Shallows one more time. And so this time we want to be up above the double inlet slightly and then go inwards from the geyser. Cool. It's familiar territory. We've been here about 1,000 times. If you don't remember, I think there was one of our relatives was out here, like our uncle, and then also Montalban's base was out here. So it took us... We've been out here. We've been out here on numerous occasions. I think we're going to want to land like right here and go west. That's looking like, because you've got the inlet number 1, you've got the little inlet number 2 right there. So let's do it. Let's see what happens when we get to the Incas. Oh, I forgot to buy food. That was a mistake. That might backfire on us. Well, hopefully we find the treasure quickly, because if we don't, it's going to end very, very poorly for our morale. There's the geyser, and so we should come up over this hill and see the Inca city pretty close at hand, I think. So we've got the geyser. We don't know how far to the west it is. So I may have to do this a little inefficiently because we don't have an actual X marks the spot on our map. I do know that west is probably our best chance at finding it. Well... it could be out here, and if we start running low on food, what I'll do is I'll go back to town. I made a mistake. I was not paying attention. This is the root cause of me just getting myself into trouble. Let's go back down. I'm gonna go grab food. I'm not sure where we're gonna land on that thing. It could be anywhere out here. That's the thing, is it says that it's next to the deserted cat. We walked right by it then. We messed up, so that's fine. Well, we didn't mess up. I messed up. I don't want to wrangle you into my shenanigans. And of course, we're going to get caught in the doldrums now until we run out of food. Oh, good. And this was a very real threat back in the day. like getting caught in doldrums until you ran out of food. This happened, and it caused people to die. People would starve to death. Hopefully we make it back before the 30th, though. That's all that matters. If we can make it back before the 30th, we're alright. Not before the 30th, a little bit more troublesome. Luckily, it looks like the wind is going to be merciful today. We'll sail on back up that way in just a minute. It's down here, ain't it? Sigh. Oh good, the universe is deciding to work in our favor and speed us back to Veracruz before our crew mutinies, takes all of our gold, and upsets everything that we've worked on the entire game. God, would that be a heartbreak. Good. Let's go to the merchant, which I should have done. Oh good, they have loads of food here. That's always nice. So I'm going to buy all of it because we've got a long trip in front of us, so we might as well. I'll throw some of these goods on the pile just in case. We'll get rid of some of these guns. There it is. And so we'll go to the shipwright. Everything should be repaired. I don't think we've taken any damage. And we can check with the tavern keeper one more time. He's got rumors of his trip to Tinna. I don't really care about fighting him again. It appears as though the captain is just on a rampage around here. He's just been on like a year-long bender getting himself. It's been 2 months since we kicked his ass last, and he hasn't learned any lessons. He's already back in here causing all kinds of problems, waving people off, getting in trouble. And then again, magistrates and things back in that day were not always known for being the nicest people. So there's that to consider as well. Absolute power and all that. That saying that is just regurgitated by political science teachers the world over. It feels like it took us a lot longer to get back down to the south than it took us to get to the north, but maybe I'm just kind of... It's probably because we were right on the edge of starving and almost dead. That's what slows down time. The imminent chance of dying. Alright, we'll anchor here. Let's find that house because it sounds like we walked right by it as we came up the hill. So there's the geyser. There should be a house over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's because it's in the hill crest. We walked right by it. Okay, that'll do it. A thorough search of the legendary lost city of the Incas reveals a treasure worth over 50,000 gold pieces. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. We're rich. We're rich as hell. Alright, let's go back. And that was totally worth the trip. Typically, I'm a little bit bitchy and salty about having to make trips like these, but that was one of the few times that it's actually been worth it. I guess getting 100,000 from Montalban was a good call too. We need to capitalize on the favorable wind right now before it goes astray. And I think I'm going to focus on finding Raimondo now so that we can find our grandfather, because that's the last member of our family that we have to find and avenge. With our current cut, God, we are way out at sea right now. Alright, well, we'll live with it. Maybe I can skirt around the edge of this storm slightly, gain a little bit of speed. There's a little bit. I didn't get too much of a slingshot out of there. Part of me is tempted. We'll just let it sail for a little bit. Let me make a cut right here and then we'll come back. So we're going up to... Okay, so we need to cut sort of this way. But we'll get there. Eventually, we'll get there. I think we should also probably pop back in with the British because we did beat up a bunch of ships as we were going west, which means that we might possibly get ourselves a promotion to Marquis. Yeah, and we're almost there. I mean, we've got such an amazing score going right now that why not shoot for the moon? I mean, obviously, gravity's going to keep the shot from ever getting there. Still, it's just a saying. It'll be fine. If we can catch this wind right here, we should be okay. There it is. And so we'll kind of skeef our way around the edge of that. I think that's going to be the British town right there. Yep, there it is. And so I think I'll hit Eleuthera first, just in case. Ew, I'm not liking this wind. This wind is making me sad. However, it does increase the chance that Raimondo will be here, so while it's a bad thing for me, it's probably also sort of a veiled good thing for me, because it could be keeping Raimondo back the same way. Oh, it's going to turn to the west right when I need to come around the key. Alright, I see how it is. I see how it is. Oh, and we're going right into a storm. I'm going to cut this way so that we can go around it. Maybe get a little burst of speed. There it is. Ooh, it's not much. Reef those sails just in case. Alright, we'll go back down, and I think Eleuthera... Oh, never mind. We're still not far enough out east. Well, damn. I've never seen a treasure be on any of these islands, by the way. There's like identifying markers out here that you can use to find your way around, but I've never seen a treasure be this far out in the middle of nowhere. Typically, they're sort of either along the northern coast of South America, or they're somewhere in Cuba. That seems to be like the main locations where you find treasures in this game. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying that I don't see it very often. We've had to make far too many trips out to Veracruz as well in this playthrough. Just sort of a disappointing thing. So we'll get information. I guess since he's not here, what we'll do is we'll stop by and we'll get information on where he went. He was holed up in Santiago. Okay. Don't really want that. I'm not going to risk it. I could have more crewmen on board, but I'm going to avoid it. I don't want to divide the plunder. I wanted to go to the shipwright. So get rid of that ship. Do I have any damage? Okay, so we have a little bit of damage. How much food do we have? Let's go ahead and stock up for now. And the choice now is whether or not, checking our maps and our charts here, we make a run for Santiago. Ew, inside the vicinity of Puerto Principe could be just about anywhere. That's the other problem. So at least I know where, I didn't know where Puerto Principe was, to be honest. It's not a city I've heard talked about very often. I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. So if you're from Puerto Principe, I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying it doesn't come up in normal conversation very often. He just sailed straight across an island like he had mud tires or something. Cool. Off-road boating. Just like, rah! Could you even call it off-road boating since boats don't use roads? It'd be like off-water boating? I don't even know what to call that. It would be a sport that would be very, very difficult to classify. I don't know if I should go after this treasure first. It's right next to Thunderstone. Maybe we should. Which looks like it's on the southern coast. So let's go around to Santiago. We'll see if we can catch Raymondo along the way. And then we'll swing west and see if we can get the treasure before the episode ends. I don't know if we'll be able to, but we're going to try. The wind is going to sabotage us for a little bit here. And it's actually going to double sabotage us. I may hit those rocks. But I need to make a stronger. There we go. So now we've actually got a cut to make. Oh, and that's not even the end of the island. I thought that was the edge and we were about to go around. Damn. Oh, there's Raymondo. We got him. I'm going to take the dominant wind. And so where does he keep getting these boats from? This guy's got like a hookup at like Boats R Us. Because boats back then were really, really expensive. It was kind of a big deal whenever the military commissioned a new ship or frigate or whatever. Like I said in a previous episode, that's why they were always trying to capture each other's. Because that meant you didn't have to build your own. Sinking a ship was a bad idea in the time period. Let's fight with Raymondo. That'll help us find our grandfather, who is surprisingly still alive for this time period. He's quite the ancient old man for this time period. I mean, one would assume that our grandfather's probably at least 45 years older than us, so he's got to be late 70s, early 80s, which in this time period just didn't happen very often. Okay, and so there's the first little piece. There's a place called Blacktown, and he's right next to Blacktown. I don't know where Blacktown is, but I think in between episodes I might take a look around and see if I can find Blacktown. Okay, we're going to keep her. We've got sort of a nasty wind right now, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight to the east, and once it shifts, we'll cut more southwards, like so, exactly. That was precisely what I was trying to describe, and there it is. I don't know where Blacktown is, but we've got all the rudders, so I should take a look around for it to see if there's going to be an easier way for me to... Yeah, see if there's going to be a... If we can get it with that one little piece right there, that'll save us a ton of time, although Blacktown could be just about anywhere. Looking at the map, it's on the eastern coast of something. So, I'll have a look around. I'll look at my map after this, and that'll be that. Let's go back to Puerto Principe. We're looking for... What was the name of that thing that we were looking for? Thunderstone. That's right, we were making Pokemon jokes. And once we get back to there, that's probably where we'll stop this off. We'll go get the treasure first, maybe. I'll make this one a little bit long. My laundry's in. It's laundry day for me right now. You don't know this, but I'm pretty much sitting in the nude right now. It happens. It's laundry day. You know how it goes. Laundry day, you're wearing like the last thing you have left in your drawer. It can't be helped. And it's going to be way the hell over here, isn't it? Got 14 months worth of food, so I don't see any problems coming up along the way. I don't know if Captain Kidd's going to have amazing treasure or not. I forget what most notorious pirate he was. There's Puerto Principe. So let's see if we can find Thunderstone here. I don't see Thunderstone anywhere, so it's probably off this way. They're very, very liberal about the word in the vicinity of. By in the vicinity of, they sometimes mean like 10 kilometers from. So just be aware of that if you're trying to play this game on your own. It'll say in the vicinity of Puerto Principe, but what it actually means is like probably an entire screen or two off to the left. That's probably Thunderstone right there. And so from Thunderstone, we go up to an Inca temple and then to the west, and then we'll have it. I'm going to try and land as close to Thunderstone as I can. And there it is. We'll anchor. And in we go. I threw an anchor. I went out on a boat. I'm not a boat person. Like, I was landlocked my entire life. I went out on a boat recently, and I got to drop an anchor, and it wasn't nearly as gratifying as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a super awesome anchor, and it was actually like this aluminum looking thing that's supposed to catch the bottom. It was sort of disappointing. My dreams were not ruined. I won't say that they were ruined. But the hell is this thing? Is that an arch rock right there in front of us? Oh, it's actually south of said arch rock. So let's go to said arch rock. Then we should go to the south. There it is. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like I walk right past these things, and in fact I do. Oh, they changed their shirts. They're not wearing yellow shirts anymore. Holy hell. I guess we've changed the designation. Now you have to wear a red, white, you have to basically wear a Waldo hat. It's a Waldo hat themed shirt underneath a leather vest now. We're changing it up a little bit, the dress code of piracy. I think that's going to be it for us today. I'm going to break this episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Sid Meier's Pirates. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode as we continue to increase our score and move towards finishing the game. Take care out there, everybody, and as always, hi-do.